Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. Look at us on time and everything.
Right? We are on time. Except excuse my appearance. She needs her skin to breathe, so no makeup today. So I look crazy, but we're not going to talk about that.
All right. Good morning. This is Journeys and Ambitions. I'm Jen.
Yes, you are Jen.
And that's Abby.
Yes.
You need something?
You need to talk more in your microphone. You sound echoey. Say something.
Hello. It does sound echoey.
It does. I wonder why. I sound fine. I sound great.
Anybody who's watching, does it sound echoey to you?
It probably does. Anyways, yes, she's Journeys. I'm Ambition. She's Jennifer. I'm Abigail. And we're here to bring you a great, amazing, fantastic show today.
You know why? Because it's Mamma Mia. So, in honor of Mother's Day, Abby is going to do her annual roast of me. But we all know it's weekly.
It is weekly,
and if you live here, you know it's daily. I love you.
I love you. So, I actually am not exactly sure how to approach this episode.
I meant to be a little more prepared. However, I have some thoughts.
Okay. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's me. What's going on? Oh, okay. I'm going to let you do that. Thoughts are I think we talked about it when we decided to do this episode. We were talking about kind of the parent-child dynamic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Specifically with us, obviously mother-daughter, and how we've done that, how I did that, how I think it's different between generations, right? And how we relate to our children. But I think it probably matters if you're an only child or not too, right?
Yeah.
Because I know you probably had friends. I know I had friends that were either super close with their mom or really did not get along with their mom.
Yeah.
And I know, I've heard, people say that, when your daughter goes through the teenage years, they stop speaking to you and they hate you. And we didn't really do that. Or maybe we did. And I didn't know.
I think you and I had that more disconnect after high school. I think my teenage years weren't really the problem. I think it was after the fact. Yeah. But we had stuff going on in our family in general that I think contributed to me distancing myself a little bit. Because when I was in college, I don't know, we obviously, when we lived together, we talk every day. But you and I, when I was in college, we did not talk every day.
Well, no. I mean, I wasn't purposeful. I felt like you needed to go, be an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even though we didn't talk every day, I knew I could call you and you would answer every time.
Absolutely. Well, you get really mad at me still today if I don't.
Yeah. I knew that you would answer every time. So even if that communication wasn't as consistent, I knew that if I ever needed to talk to you.
You still kind of waver between whether you get mad at me, I'm going to tell Mom I know. Or, but Mommy, can you do it for me?
Mm-hmm.
She really does. She's like, can you make me a dentist appointment? No.
I don't ask you to make my dentist appointments anymore.
I feel like you probably did 6 months
ago. Well, because you wanted me to go to a new dentist. And that seems like a lot of work. But, yeah. I think because I'm going to say something. Don't get mad at me.
Okay, just remember it's Mother's Day. You're supposed to celebrate your mother.
I am celebrating you. I'm just saying that I think a lot of times our dynamic is not the normal of a mother-daughter. And you kind of say it, and a lot of other people who observe our relationship kind of say that sometimes I'm the mom.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I think sometimes those lines get a little blurred. And then so when I get in a mood and I'm like, well, I feel like you need to be the mom right now and do what I need you to do as my mother. And I think you get confused.
I think you just think that you're the mom because you're super bossy. But yeah.
You need someone to be bossy to you.
Don't say that out loud. Don't say that out loud.
You need someone to boss you around a little bit.
I mean, sometimes I like it. But let's not make it weird.
I was talking to one of my other friends about this who she claims to be a bossy gal herself. And she was like, well, I wouldn't be bossy if people didn't listen to me. So I continue the bossy behavior because people listen to me. Oh. You listen to me for most of the time. So, yeah, I mean, you're enabling it, really.
Yeah, can't let that get out, man, because I don't let anybody else boss me around. I'm like, don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Let's say good morning.
Talk about...
Can we say good morning, people?
Good morning. You mean like pull up their phone? Okay.
Yeah.
Brittany said she tuned in early. This was at 10:56. She said, good morning, listening in today. Work has been so busy because a whole bunch of people are off. Well, girl, thank you for risking your job listening to.
Oh, she's maybe.
Solomon said, good morning. Terry said, good morning. Good morning, Terry. She said, there's very little normal about either one of you. That is true. That is true.
I mean, what's normal?
Yeah.
Why we lost like 6 people?
Don't talk about just
okay. Sorry. Anyway, so do you have any friends that don't get along with their mom?
I have plenty of people that don't get along with their mom. I don't think you and I get along all the time either.
Well, that's true. Because you're kind of a lovely little girl.
No, I'm just.
You're always a good kid. I never had a lot of problems with you, but we'll talk about like my relationship with my mom.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
It's just different. I mean, I only lived with my mom until I was 10.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't know. We didn't have a strong bond. I get along with her.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you and I in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to live with my dad and then when I turned like 13, he married my stepmom.
Yeah.
But I was already 13. So we didn't have a strong bond. So I didn't really have and then my mom moved out of state. Right.
Yeah.
So I don't have like a real strong
parental figure.
Yeah. Female.
Yeah.
Where, a close relationship. Right.
Yeah.
I kind of had a mother figure who was doing all the motherly things for me, but we weren't connected.
Yeah. Like,
which we are now.
Yeah.
And then I had like a long distance aunt friend type relationship with my mom because she wasn't nearby.
Yeah.
So I think maybe you got a combination of that because I didn't know. Or I think as parents, what you try to do is not do the things you didn't like or make up in the places you felt lacking.
Yeah.
So while I maybe shouldn't have been your bestie your whole life, like I think that's what I felt I was lacking. So that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah. And I think that's sometimes maybe why the lines get blurred a lot because you do play like a strong like friendship role to me. So whenever you kick into mom mode, I almost don't even take you serious. I'm like, what are you even talking about? Be quiet.
Like, don't tell me what to do. Yeah. You're not my mother. Oh, wait. You are my mother.
Yeah. Which is like, can be confusing too. You know what I mean? Especially like.
Well, I felt like my mom sort of competed with me a little bit or acted more like a sister than a mom. So I think like I tried to not do that, and then I don't know. I didn't know the middle ground. Anyway.
Yeah. But I do.
There's only you, so.
I do know other people that don't have a strong relationship with their mom. And I mean, fact of the matter is, mothers are going to get on your nerves. They're going to like poke you in ways that you don't want to be poked. They're going to be, you know what I mean? Like moms are annoying. Sorry to break it to you. Moms are annoying.
I mean, isn't that what we're supposed to be?
So I think it's up to.
What kind of person would you be if I didn't annoy you?
Can I get to my point?
Oh yeah, sorry.
See, annoying. Anyways, I think moms are kind of supposed to parents just get on your nerves. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so I think it's up to the child to decide. And I obviously think it's important to set boundaries too. Like I know some people who like their parents really just make them feel really down about themselves, or like their parents always like beating down on them, not necessarily physically, but like emotionally, like verbally attacking them or whatever. And I think in that case, like, yeah, you have to distance yourself for your own mental health. And I think in those circumstances, yes, it's good to distance yourself. But if your mom's just a little annoying, I mean, moms are annoying. Children are annoying. Dogs are annoying. You love your dogs. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think it is important to set and maintain boundaries, but in the end of the day, your family is your family. And unless you're in like some sort of abusive situation, you gotta love your family. You know what I'm saying? And like, I feel like we never really had, like, I'm an only child. It was you, me, and then my stepdad for most of the time. Right. And I'm not like super connected to a lot of distant family, like aunts, uncles, cousins, stuff like that. Like I see them sometimes, but we also live in a different state than most of our family. So part of me was always kind of like jealous when I would see people have like these like dinners and they would invite aunts, uncles, their best friends with their cousin and stuff like that. And I never had that. And there were parts of me that were jealous, but I also know that there's more like family drama and stuff like that. But I kind of love the tea. I want the drama.
So I think we talked about this actually semi-recently, that I grew up the same way. Like my parents moved, my parents are from Ohio. And they moved to California when I was like a year old. So yes, I was born in Ohio, which my mother semi-recently was like, "You're not a Californian, you're an Ohioan." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about? I don't even remember it, you know?" But anyway, so they moved away from any family that I could have had. Yeah. And same exact way. Like I felt the same way. I'm like, there's nobody, I don't have, and then I didn't have, I have a half brother and sister way younger than me and a step sister, but we didn't like live together at the same time. So I didn't have like siblings, like, growing up with me. Yeah. Well, I was talking to
my friend the other day, and we were talking about how like when you're in a relationship and you like know that person's mom, you kind of want to be able to like make fun of that person with their mom. Like that's fun, right? You want to be like, "Oh, so-and-so, man, they take forever to get ready," or whatever it is, right?
I do that and I'm still single. So anyway, maybe that's not the thing to do.
But I think as a child, you kind of want that, like, you know what I mean? Had you been like, had a really close like sister or like someone that like, who knows you really well, I can be like, "Man, Jennifer's driving me nuts."
Your friends.
Well, my friends, yeah.
Some of your friends that have been around for a long time, I think, probably roast me with you.
Well, because I think it's important. I think venting is really important. I think if you only have positive things to say about somebody, you don't really know them. Because the more you get to know anybody, there's going to be things about them that you don't necessarily like. And especially if you're really close, I think the closer you are to someone, the more nerves that they can, you know what I mean?
Well, they know what nerves to strike.
Right. And you
Remember when I yelled at you at Disney World? I think all your friends were in shock though.
Yeah, you had no reason to yell at me.
I'm sure I did, but anyway.
Yeah. I definitely think, when it comes to you and me, and again, like kind of when those like lines are blurred, like I might be talking to you as a friend, right? Which is, I don't talk to my friends like disrespectfully, but it's more like casual, right? Or like more maybe sarcastic or something. And sometimes you're cool with it, and then sometimes you pop off. And
might be true.
Yeah. I'm in therapy. Maybe Jennifer needs therapy.
There's no maybe about that.
Yeah.
I definitely do. But going back to what we're talking about. So I really became more aware, which sounds kind of ridiculous, recently, that I did the same exact thing to you that I hated growing up. Like I moved you to another state with no family around. I'm so mad at myself for that. I when you started saying that, I'm like, I understand. Oh shoot, I did the same thing to you, and I hate that I did that. I wish we would have grown up around family and you could have experienced that.
Yeah. I wish that
I don't know any different, so I don't know that it's necessarily better, but we have friends here in Texas that have treated us like family, and we've gone, to their house and been, for holidays and stuff. So we did have that experience. And we were very much treated like family and still are, but it's a little different.
I think that contributes to kind of like my personality type. Like I don't tend to like lean on a lot of people for support. In certain moments maybe, but like generally speaking, I'm very emotionally like self-sufficient. I know I said I was in therapy. I mean, I feel like everyone should be in therapy. Anyways, I'm for the most part very like self-sufficient. Like I'm not the type of person to like really seek a lot of like advice. I also have a complex where I think I'm smarter than everyone. So I don't really like to talk to people because I don't want to hear what they have to say. Unless
that's not a complex.
If I'm seeking out advice, it's because I don't know what I'm thinking and I need someone to help guide me. Anyways, so I think when it comes to like a lot of family or not having a lot of family around, it's made me that kind of person. So like for you, even like with you, like I typically don't really come to you for advice. And it's not because I think
I wouldn't.
And it's not anything bad. It's just like I'm like gonna figure it out on my own.
Well, there's some things you can't tell your mom.
Yeah. Well,
some things I don't want
I just like to figure it out on my own usually. And I think I used to not be like that. I used to be the kind of person where I would tell everyone all my business and like never shut up about like something that I'm going through. Whereas like now I really try to just deal with it on my own. And like figure it out and then talk about it maybe after the fact, because I don't like unsolicited advice. So even if I'm telling you something that's bothering me, don't give me like, I'm not necessarily asking for advice. The other day, you actually you pissed me off a little bit. I'm going to tell a story. Oh, so she hasn't
told me yet. So this is a good time.
She's a singer, right? She's a singer. And
you.
She's me.
Oh, okay. You're talking about me. Go ahead.
She, me, her.
Gotcha.
Got it. So
I know what you're going to say.
She's a singer. And I was submitting a video for like an audition, and my mom sneakily recorded me, which whatever, not a big deal. But then keep in mind, I'm not asking, I'm not drilling, I'm not opening up the conversation anymore. She said she recorded me. I said, cool. And then she goes, you may or may not want this advice, but you were kind of yelling a little bit. Is Jennifer a singer? Out of nowhere, out of left field, this woman was like, actually, you need to back off a little bit. And then I sang again for her the other night. She goes, oh, yeah, you took my advice. I
didn't say you took my advice.
No, but that's basically what you were saying. You were like, yeah, you backed off. You held back a little bit, and I think you sounded really good. It was underlying what you said. So that kind of, I don't like unsolicited advice.
Sorry. So I was listening to you sing since you were like 10, so I just had heard you do it better. It
was an emotional song, so I was being emotional.
Okay. Just, you did great.
Although I do give you unsolicited advice, I'm kind of a hypocrite because Jennifer needs it. Jennifer is a mess sometimes, and she needs my advice.
But yet somehow I've made it to this lovely ripe age.
Mm-hmm.
And I've kept you alive. So I'm doing something right. I'm just saying.
I'm 25. I've kept myself alive for the past 8 years.
Okay.
Or 7 years. I don't know. I can't do the math.
I feel like I helped.
Yeah, for the first 18 years. I've kept it going since then.
I feel like you could come up with funnier things to roast me about.
Okay. Well, I
got nothing.
I can think of a plethora of things to roast you about.
Let's go.
Let's go?
Bring it. Is it mean or is it funny? I don't really want you to be mean to me.
It might be a little bit of both. It might be funny to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about
Abby doesn't like clothing and walks around the house naked all the time.
I do.
That's it. See, you're not taking this well. I'm not good at this.
But yeah, I do think this show has kind of helped us like be closer in a different way in our relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have a strong like mother-daughter in the sense that like we're like friends. You know what I'm saying? So I think this has kind of like helped us kind of like lean into that a little bit more.
What do you think? Okay, for a real question.
Mm-hmm.
So is that when you say that? Mm-hmm. Is that disappointing? Or are you glad we grew up like that?
I think there's pros and cons to it.
And okay. Next question, follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you perceive I could have, should have, would have, whatever done differently that would have been more mommish?
And it's hard to say, right? Because we've always been really close. So I think there were times where I felt responsible to, what do you say?
I accidentally.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to tell me something like, shut up.
No.
I think there were times where I felt like responsible for like your emotions and like what you were going through. Which
you're talking a lot about like teenagers and stuff. Did you, I mean, maybe prior to that.
When I was younger? No, I think when I was younger, like where I need a mom to take care of me, I never felt the best friend thing as much. Like I definitely felt, I think as I started to kind of come into my own and go into adulthood or like pre-adulthood, I think that's where things kind of shifted. And because I was more self-sufficient, I didn't need you as much as a mother. You wanted to be more like friends with me.
Makes sense.
And, I'm not going to go into details, but we've been through a lot as a family. And I think you've been through a lot in the past 10, 15 years. And I think because we've always been really close, I think it was, and you tell me all the time, I'm your best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to,
I apologize.
You want to tell your best friend like everything that you're going through. And I think
you're also super smart and you pick up on things because there was definitely things I tried not to tell you.
And I picked up on it.
Much like chasing you around the house and trying to figure out, when I tell you it's none of your business, you don't take that ever. Because,
now I'm like used to our dynamic, right? So when you're not telling me something, I know it's something you're trying to hide from me. Whereas like, I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to like come down on you or anything. I'm just saying when I was in like high school, for sure, I think at the time, and I say this a lot about, and I'm going to compare it to something like, when you're, when younger girls are like dating an older guy, right? Like you're in high school and you're like, oh, my boyfriend's in his 20s. And it's like cool when you're younger. And then you grow up and you're like,
that was gross.
Maybe that wasn't the best thing. I loved that you told me all your tea, all your drama back then. I was like, yeah, my mom tells me everything I know, all the tea, all the drama. But now looking back as an adult, I'm like, was I able to emotionally handle that in that way?
What's worse is I didn't tell you all of it. I did hold back. But I know what incident, anyway, the end of my marriage is what she's talking about.
Yeah.
And the circumstances surrounding it. It's something I tried to keep from you, but you were a sophomore in high school.
Yeah, I was very aware.
I mean, there wasn't much hiding it from you. And then even years later, you kind of said, oh, you guys should have done this. And I said, we didn't fight or argue or do anything in front of you. And she said, you're like, I felt it.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are things as parents, you think that you're hiding from your children or you think that you're doing what's best for them, right?
Kids are way more aware than you think they are.
Nobody's going to do a perfect job.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and you don't know the different side, right? So if I would have just picked up and moved us out and moved us to another state, you could have a lot of resentment. Like, oh, you didn't even let me finish in my high school. You don't know the other side of it.
Right.
So there's no perfect answer.
I don't think I resent you at all for that. I mean,
no, I'm just saying there's no right answer. You've got to do whatever you think you got to do at the time as a parent.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
and
I don't think there's ever been a doubt that I don't love you or wish the best for you.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day,
and I don't,
you know what I mean? That's the most important thing.
I have a lot of opinions about parenting for someone who's not a parent.
Most people do.
And I think part of the reason why I go back and forth on if I even want children sometimes is because I know that there's no perfect way to do it. Like every person on this planet, their parent gave them trauma in some way, shape, or form. They are dealing with something that happened within their childhood, whether it be from a parent or sibling or family member, whatever.
Clearly the other parent in your case.
Anyways, you did too. I've told you that. No one's perfect.
It's Mother's Day.
But I think every person has something from their childhood that they wish didn't go down the way that it went down. There's no way to perfectly do it. And I think the more you try to be perfect, that's also traumatizing to your child too. So like, that's why I don't really like, I have 3 parents, even for any of them, even though certain things may have upset me and I may now set certain boundaries that's kind of goes back to boundaries. Like, you have to set certain boundaries if you don't like something. That doesn't mean you have to like cut somebody off or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like
as an adult, yeah.
Yeah, as an adult. I mean, as a kid, you only have so much control and that, that's a case by case basis. But I think every child to a parent, whether you're an adult or an actual child, you have to kind of figure out how you're going to manage whatever happened in your childhood that you think messed you up in some way.
It changes, by the way, all the time.
What does?
Your
perspective.
Your perception or your perspective of your parents.
Yeah.
Mine still changes.
Well, because I think a lot of times we forget that our parents are human.
Right. You know what boggles my mind now? Like I always go back to is thinking about, I think, whatever animosities I have towards my parents. And then I think about how old they were at the time. And I'm way older than that now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, no wonder they made that terrible decision. They were like 30.
Yeah.
They were dumb. You know what I mean? Like,
whenever I'm getting like upset, like, oh, I feel like I think a lot of my like energy goes towards you because you're the parent that's been like the most present in my life. So even if something else happened, I'm gonna like subconsciously almost like blame you because you were the one that was like closest to me and like raised me for the most part. And so, you know, you were just there more. So that like you kind of have to take the heat. And I always say like being a parent, especially a mother, is a very thankless job. You're expected to do anything and everything for that child and expect nothing in return. You know what I'm saying?
The other thing too is when you were younger, you know, I had friends that hadn't had children yet, and they wanted to, and they felt their clock ticking, you know, and there's, at least you have a kid. And I would tell them it's the best thing in the world and also the absolute worst thing in the world, you know, and they're like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, once you have a child, everything in the world is scary. Everything. Every time you leave the house and you're in your car, it's scary. You know what I mean? Every time I don't hear from you at night, it's scary. Like everything in the world is a possible threat. Yeah. And then when you don't have a kid, I mean, you obviously have people in your life that you really care about, but your kid is just a different level. Yeah. Like, because it's your job to protect that person.
There's this lady on TikTok, and she calls herself an estranged mom, and she has 3 children, and none of her children talk to her anymore. And she talks about it on TikTok, but takes absolutely no accountability for it. And people are like, okay, maybe if you have like one estranged child that like, for whatever reason, cuts you off, maybe they're into something, whatever. But if all 3 of your children don't speak to you anymore, that's the time to like maybe reflect, like, what am I doing? Not what I did, but what am I doing to actively? Because I think people are more forgiving than you think they are too. I think just because like I said, parents are human, and I think we tend to forget that. I know I do. Like sometimes I'll get mad. I'm like, well, she's supposed to do this. She's supposed to do this. I'm like, she's a human being and you and my other parents, you know what I'm saying? I can't sit here and be angry about XYZ. Like, I know I have issues. Thank God I'm not anybody's mama right now. Let me tell you. But
your kids are outside right now. You just put them outside.
I did.
You're like a Gen X mom right now. Just put them outside.
But, you know, I think that's how I've been more like forgiving with maybe some of the mistakes that all of my parents have made, is the fact that like parents are human, you know what I mean? They're not supposed to be perfect, and they're not supposed to do everything right all the time. You may want that and expect that, but in the same way that you can't expect that a parent can expect you to take care of them in their old age or what, you know what I'm saying? Because in the end of the day, and I've said this to you before, I didn't ask to be born.
I'm counting. What do you mean? I'm 100% counting on you. What?
But you think about it like this. That puts I'm an only child.
Exactly.
I'm 3 people's only child.
Oh, no, just me.
Jennifer, I'm trying to be serious for a second. I'm 3 people's only child. Do you think about like, and I saw this TikTok of this girl who her mother was like.
I'm also 3 people. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm only 1 person. Never mind. I can't do math.
Can I?
Yeah, sorry.
I saw this TikTok of this girl, and she was talking about how her mother passed away. She was her mother's only daughter. Her mother was a single mom, and her mom was like a really bad hoarder, and she died very unexpectedly. And now the daughter was the only person to clean up that entire mess.
I feel that way about the bobbleheads. Go ahead.
Anyways. And so think about like the kind of pressure, you know what I mean? And I think there was a point in time where I was very concerned about you and like making sure, you know what I'm talking about, in college, when I first went to college. I was very concerned about you because like, I know, I feel the pressure of like, I am your only child. I'm the person that if anything happens to you, I'm going to have to be there. You know what I'm saying? And so like, I understand that you and I have a different relationship, and you're doing your little thing right now where you're trying to say something, you're thinking about something funny to say, and I'm trying to be serious.
I'm not.
You are.
I'm really not.
But in the end of the day, children did not choose to be born, is what I'm trying to say. And so as a parent, and I'm going to read what Terry said, because she's referring to when I said motherhood or parenthood is a thankless job. And it depends on how you look at it, right? Because I actually like her perspective. She said, I do not feel like motherhood is thankless. The thank you comes from the smile on your kid's face or the way you feel when they run into your arms for a hug. We do tend to take advantage of our moms. I 100% agree. And I think those little things do kind of give you, like you said, it's the happiest thing in the world because like that person loves you and stuff like that. But I think, you know, like I said, I don't think, And I know I say it and it maybe sounds like negative or whatever. I say that like children don't really owe their parents anything. That doesn't mean I'm not going to be there for you. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean I'm not going to.
I know that.
But
like Terry says too, it's like, you're not a little kid. You're not going to, but you do. You texted me the other day because I hadn't seen you in a couple of days and you said, I miss you and I love you.
Yeah.
That makes my whole day, you know? Like
yeah.
I know you do.
And I try to look at things very like objectively without like having my own. Because like I said, yes, I don't think children should have to take care of their parents in old age. It means I'm not going to. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think. I think if a parent is like, and I mean, we did an Am I the Asshole one time where like the parent was like wanted the kid to uproot his whole life to come take care of them. That's not fair. You know what I'm saying? You raised me to have my own life and to do my own things and achieve everything I want to achieve. And then you're going to turn around and be like, actually drop all that. Because I took care of you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure most people have other plans.
Yeah.
I don't, but I think I'm pretty healthy and stuff. So I'm not anticipating needing that anytime soon. And also you live here. So
yeah,
it's kind of built in at this point.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Actually, so going back to like growing up though.
Yeah.
Thoughts on involvement. Like, do you think
you were too involved at one point? Remember I told you?
Ask you. Do you think I'm too? No, I mean like involvement, like attending all your stuff and doing all the things.
You were very involved. At one point, one of my grades weren't the greatest, which looking back, I think it had to do with a lot of the family stuff. That's kind of when my grades started to not be as good. And you were like up my ass about some of these grades, and I was like, and I literally was like. Or maybe this may have been before. I don't know. I was like, you need to have another child to like worry about something else besides me right now.
Yeah, I remember what it was. Yeah.
I think as I
it definitely wasn't going to have another child.
I think as I get older and I'm kind of like developing my own identity, I think sometimes you feel me like pulling away sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And which makes me feel sad. Like I don't want you to like. You know, I don't want you to think I'm like, I'm never going to be that like estranged child. Like that is never going to be me. But I think.
I don't feel you pulling away. Now you're making me feel like you are. You have something to tell me.
Well, no, because you said that I'm your best friend. And I said, thank you. I am your best friend. I didn't say you were my best friend.
Oh, I told you I didn't think that.
Yeah.
I should be even.
Yeah.
It's actually just kind of sad that you're mine.
You are like the most.
I'm a little hermity. I mean, people think I'm super outgoing, and I'm kind of really.
Yeah.
I'm not really that outgoing. I mean, I can be,
but
I don't think I really am. I don't like plans.
I
like canceling plans.
You like canceling plans? We have plans for Mother's Day.
I like things like I like to have a reservation or a ticket to go someplace. Because if I don't do that, it's not going to happen.
For Mother's Day, we're going to go to brunch and then we're going to go see a little show at like a community theater thing. It's like they're all singing a bunch of like Adele songs. It's not like a play. It's like I think they're just singing like different Adele songs. And so we're going to go see that.
We have a whole weekend. What are you doing tomorrow? What are we doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow. So remember that audition I was telling you all about?
That I critiqued and then she got it. So she totally has. Yeah.
I got it with the video where you said I was yelling.
I'm aware.
Okay. I am singing tomorrow, the Houston Show Choir. We have like a performance and I have a little solo moment. And then, so you bought tickets to that. So you're going to go to that tomorrow.
I bought it. Yeah. Oh, the song. Tell me the song you're singing. Was anybody familiar? Like, we're kind of theater.
They need to be there.
Oh.
Sorry.
It'll be. I'm.
She's gonna post
100% sure that I will post something.
Yeah, she'll post it. Y'all see it.
So the people who couldn't go or people who can't go have. I was telling you this too.
Mother's Day plans, I'm sure.
I am sure.
Yeah.
And kind of. This was kind of a late scheduled thing. Anyway,
it's been scheduled. The solo part was late.
Right.
Yeah. The event's been scheduled.
I think that one of my friends said they're like, "Hey, record it for me." For you. Okay. Like I wasn't going to already record it. And then I'm telling Abby this and she goes, yeah, my friend said, hey, have Jen record it for me. Once again, guys, y'all know I'm going to record it. Okay. I will post it. You can take whatever you want to do with it. That's fine. But it'll be awesome. Cause Because I did sneakily record her recording. I already know she sings it really great. And then you did it in front of me the other night.
I did. Mm-hmm. Well, and that's something that I've always loved is that, like, you know, regardless of whatever I'm talking about, you are like one of the most important people in my life. So like, even though I don't like say you're my best friend or anything, I just like to feed your ego sometimes. But because
best friend is, I guess, is strong. But I do fit the requirements of like the bestie show, the 5 things, I think.
You do.
Oh.
You do. You do.
No, I don't tell you everything and you don't tell me everything. There's a level of...
I like that you're like really supportive of everything that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And like you become involved with someone a little too involved. Yeah, a little bit.
Well, I'm a hermit. If you're going to make me leave the house to go see your things, then I'm going to make friends with all your friends. That's how it's going to go.
Some of my friends you talk to that I don't even talk to anymore.
That's true. I do.
That's weird.
I'm friends with Val's daughter now on Facebook. I'm pretty happy about that.
Oh yeah, Val, because this is LV with Val Radio, which again, getting too involved here. You want to be my boss's best friend?
No, her daughter.
Her daughter. And you want to be Val's best friend?
I do. And it's Val's son's birthday today. We should say happy birthday.
It is. Happy birthday, Grunt. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Grunt. Happy birthday to you. Woo!
Because I'm positive he's listening. I'm positive.
He's probably not.
No, I think he is. I think he's a big fan. And I think he plays the LV app like all day.
Yeah,
so,
he should.
Birthday. Yeah,
he should. So I think we should take a quick break and then we will come back with Am I the Asshole? Leave us your thoughts on Mother's Day, mother-daughter or mother-child relationships, and things like that. What you
or
think.
Say Happy Mother's Day to your mother and we'll read it out and then you can send them the clip.
There you go.
Look at that.
There you go. All righty. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back. I hope you liked that song choice. It was intentional. So before we go into Am I the Asshole, I wanted to wish my mom and all the mothers out there happy Mother's Day. Go spend the day with your mom. Buy her something nice, which I did before you started making faces at me.
I was just excited. I can't wait.
Buy your mom something nice. Write her a letter if you're broke.
Make her a video.
Make her a video. Do something.
Moms are pretty, you know what? We're pretty,
make her a,
we're pretty good at like,
macaroni.
We'll accept anything. No, don't do that.
Make her a macaroni noodle.
Maybe not that. But there does come a point, and we did this before when I sold the house, we went through the boxes and boxes of like stuff.
You've kept every piece of crap I've ever made you.
Every single thing. And she's like, really, Mom? And I'm like, I know.
Every like shitty artwork. Mindless, like, because I was very like crafty when I was little too. So I would make stupid stuff and she kept everything.
You did. And then I was like,
because she's obsessed with me.
Well, you're my best friend. Little brat.
I am your best friend.
You're my best friend. I see what you did there. Nothing escapes me, Abigail. That's pretty cool, Mom, though, for discipline wise.
Yeah, no, you were. And I will say something that I did talk a lot about the things that drove me crazy about you, but let me say something good.
Oh, nice things.
I don't like to be super sentimental. Sometimes that's why I also don't say a lot of nice things because you get all like, oh, mushy gushy. And like
she
that.
does. Let me just tell you, if she says anything nice to me, first of all, she goes, I'm going to say something nice. Don't be weird about it. And I'm like, big. And then other times she'll say something. I go, oh, and she goes, stop it, or I'll never say anything nice. She goes, stop it.
Yeah. I don't like to be super mushy gushy. So,
which I feel like you're really affectionate, actually.
I am really affectionate, but I don't on my terms.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. But I will say something that I especially noticed in like high school and stuff. Like, you know, they say super strict parents, like their kids. I look so rough. Anyways, super strict parents, like their kids usually end up doing like the worst stuff. You were not strict like at all. Like you didn't like let me wreak havoc in the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there were definitely things you were like, you had conversations with me about it. And whether or not I listened to you, you had a conversation with me about it.
I mean, that's how I was brought up. And I mean, like when we look back, we all know what we did. I think I probably know some of the things you did, probably not all. Oh my gosh, I told my dad that I snuck his car out. I told him when I was like 40 and he got mad at me. I couldn't believe it.
Like you did it when you were in high school.
Yeah, I was like, too soon. Too soon.
Well, yeah.
But the thing is, because he didn't expect it of me, because I didn't get in a lot of trouble. So I wasn't really disciplined, or they didn't really watch me. I kind of could come and go as I pleased, because the expectation was that he read. I'm like, my dad's thoughts on it was the expectation was that he raised me right. So if he raised me right to have good morals and to have, to be honest, then he didn't have to keep a close eye on me, because if he did his job, he didn't need to worry about me.
Right.
So I guess that's kind of like
the approach that you took, I think.
Well, I didn't really know any different, but also I felt that from you. I never really worried, like you were pretty forthcoming, and you wanted to go to a party where there was going to be drinking. It was like, okay, do not ride with any of your friends. If you need me to come get you, call me. I wasn't dumb enough to say, oh no, you can't go. And then you would never be honest with me about it.
Well, and I knew a girl, I'm not gonna say any names. I knew a girl who her mom thought this girl walked on water. She does no wrong. She doesn't know boys. She doesn't leave the house. She's never drank. Well, I think she knew about the drinking because their family drink. But a lot of things. This lady thought her daughter walked on water. Her daughter was my friend. I knew she did not walk on water. Not even close. Not even close. She was stomping on dirt is what she was doing. And it was funny because you were the cool mom, right? So all of the
I knew everybody.
She knew everybody's business, and you were the cool mom. And so
all I can think of is Mean Girls right now.
You would not quite like that, but you weren't like giving us drinks and stuff. But you also knew that if I was going to drink or if I was going to do something, you at least want to know about it in terms of safety. Sure. So I never really hid anything from you growing up.
I mean, you told me one time, actually you wanted to bring alcohol that I had bought and never drank. The little strawberry, whatever. Oh,
strawberries. Good.
Yeah. And it's not that I didn't even believe you, but I did check with the other mom, just they're all coming over and drinking at your house, right? And she's like, yes, ma'am. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Just knowing that you guys weren't going to drive
do
or
anything crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and so much so that when I was really young, when I was in middle school, I had a sleepover and two girls, after my mom went to bed, left the house. And so much so that it was freaking me. I am the type of person, I do try to do the right thing. I'm very concerned about doing what I'm supposed to do. I never wanted to lie. I don't really think I ever lied. If I did, it was about stupid shit, something that didn't even matter. But I really don't remember feeling like I had to lie to you or hide something from you. I'm like, no, mom, those bitches left the house. I don't know. I don't know what they were doing. They were gone, but they came back.
That was hard too, because I didn't really know. Well, I was mad because A, you told them not to. B, they're putting me in a weird position because I was, and then I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I should tell the other moms.
Yeah.
Are they going to put it on me? Well, you were supposed to be watching my kid, which I guess so. But at some point I'm going to sleep.
I like that you and I had a lot of trust between us though. I very much trusted you that if I told you something, even if it didn't put me in the best situation or in the best light, that you were still going to listen to me and hear what I have to say. And I was never really punished. Well,
this is my favorite story about Abby. She refused to be punished.
Yeah.
I grounded her.
I run shit. What can I say? I run shit.
I grounded her. I don't remember what for, but she was grounded for a week. And she goes, no, I'm not. I'm not grounded. And I was like, no, you're grounded for a week, Abigail. And she goes, no, I don't get grounded. And I was like, okay, well, you're not allowed to go anywhere, and I'm taking your phone away. You're like, okay.
I don't want my phone.
And I go, what do you call that? She goes, I didn't really feel like doing anything this week anyway. And I was like, you know what? You love. You're really taking all the lessons out of this right now. You're like, it's a good little break. You know what?
Mm-hmm. You never really took my phone away either. I remember one time you told me, you were like, just no texting after 9 p.m. And I still had my phone in my room. You didn't take it away or anything.
That's pretty dumb.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Did you text after 9 p.m.?
Probably not, because I was actually terrified. I actually like follow the rules. If you said I'm not supposed to text after 9 p.m., I don't text after 9 p.m. Plus, you also told me that you could see all my messages. You told me that like you're like, I can call AT&T up, girl, and like.
Oh
see.
No, I could. Yeah, that's true.
So
actually,
I was like, oh no,
that's actually.
So there's like also a level of like getting caught.
See, that's what you're supposed to do to your kids.
Yeah,
you're supposed to like make them like morally or on like. I
was more scared of disappointing you than you being mad at me. I can deal with you being mad all day. You can be mad at me and I'll be like, all right, girl, bye. But like, if I feel like you're disappointed in me, which I've never thankfully felt that from you. I try to be very appointing. I'm
going to call my dad and ask if I'm appointing.
I try not to be disappointing. I try to be very appointing. So I thankfully I've never felt that from you. But girl, you'll be mad at me day and night. I don't take it. I laugh. I'm like, okay.
My dad did that to me, actually. My dad was the same way. Like, it was more concerning if I felt like he gave me the look, like the I'm disappointed in you look, you know? Mm-hmm. And I remember I don't know what I did. I'm pretty proud of that you just said that. Because I actually asked my dad when you were little, I was like, what'd you do? What'd you do where, you know, you made me scared to disappoint you? And he kind of laughed. And now that you just said that, I'm like, I did it too. But there's no instructions. I don't really know what I did.
Brittany said, my parents were strict growing up. I was scared to death to disappoint them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think I think for me, and I can only speak from my experience, part of it is being an only child. I've felt since I was very young. Well, I'm a very like driven, ambitious person by nature. You know what I'm saying? So like, I've always been like, you know, ambitious. I don't know how else to put it. I've always been very like wanting to do more and be involved or whatever. I wasn't like super into school and like getting good grades, but I had decent grades. I went to college and stuff like that. But from a very young age, I remember feeling like, okay, I can't mess up. I'm my parents' only kid. I'm the only, like, if I mess up and I become a crackhead, how does that make my parents look? You know what I'm saying?
We got one shot. I think like the most rewarding thing though is even when I did kind of crack down at you and you'd get mad, you know, like you thought I was being unfair, I would see later where you were like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't so bad. For instance, I think it was maybe your junior or senior year, you wanted to go to a beach house for the weekend with your friends. And,
oh yeah, you didn't let that fly.
No, because you gave me zero information. Hey, Mom, can I go to this beach house this summer with, you know, who's going to be there? I don't know. Well, where's it going to be at? I don't know. Are there going to be adults there? I don't know. Will they be drinking there? I don't know. Well, guess what? Come back with all that info. And you were mad. And you're like, well, so-and-so needs an answer right now. I said, well, the answer right now is absolutely no.
Yeah.
So next time you want a different answer, you're going to have to come. Let me give you a list of information you need to come with.
Yeah.
And I remember down the road, she then preemptively would ask her friends, I need to know this, 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 and this. Well, we don't know. Well, then I can't ask my mom.
Yeah,
like,
I need more information.
So like, even though you may have rolled your eyes and thought I was being ridiculous, you took that forward and were like, okay, well, this is, that's actually, I think you realized these are fair questions.
Yeah, it wasn't anything out of pocket. It wasn't like you, because I don't know. Then I hear of some moms like into like teenager years, they're like, well, let me talk to the other person's mom. Girl, we all drive. We have our own, like the other mom's not going to be there. We're grown-ish.
I was a little surprised that I've taken some of your friends on vacation and
never heard from their mom.
Like, does anybody want to talk to me? Okay, cool. You know, guess I'm trustworthy, but also I'm taking your child for a week. Like, no, okay.
They're probably glad. Get rid of her.
I did actually end up talking.
So now it's time for Am I the Asshole? And so this one is, of course, in the spirit of Mother's Day, mother. Tell your mothers happy Mother's Day. Yeah.
That's from her father's side of the family.
Okay, so this one, we're going to read the title, okay? Am I the asshole for wanting Mother's Day to be about me? Is it the mom?
No, I didn't read it yet.
Yeah, it could be the daughter. You don't know, or the child. We haven't gone there. So, am I the asshole for wanting Mother's Day to be about me?
Ooh,
simmer on that.
And afterwards, actually, I got to say something about my very first Mother's Day. I have. Go ahead.
I, 35 female, gave birth last year. And so this year will be my first Mother's Day this Sunday. This upcoming Monday also happens to be my mother-in-law's 63 female's birthday. Every year, my husband, 32 male, and his brothers, 29 male, 25 male, and father-in-law have celebrated both mother-in-law's birthday and Mother's Day on the same day, no matter what day Mother's Day fell on that year. I was all too happy to celebrate both occasions with them because I lost my mom when I was 8 to ovarian cancer, so I had never really celebrated Mother's Day until I met my husband. This year, however, I would like to celebrate Mother's Day with just myself, my husband, and our daughter. I tried to encourage other plans on Saturday, a day filled with fun, food, and activities that mother-in-law likes, but have been shot down. I even asked if the three of us could do breakfast/brunch and then go over to the mother-in-law's to celebrate, but this was also unacceptable. Both Mother's Day and birthday must be celebrated on the same day. Wouldn't she rather have two? Anyways, I tried to talk to mother-in-law about it, and she said that this is the way it's been for years, and it isn't going to change now. And maybe my husband and I, can do Mother's Day things another day. So this is where I might be the asshole. I told my husband he is welcome to go and spend the whole day with his mom, dad, and brothers, but I will be staying home and celebrating with the wee potato who made me a mom. We're going to watch Bluey and make tiny blueberry pancakes, her favorite. My husband says I'm being unreasonable and that we can celebrate another time, that his mom just loves celebrating being a mom and her birthday together and with the ones she loves, and that it would be awkward if her first grandchild isn't there to help her celebrate. Brother-in-laws have partners but do not have children yet. I told him I am standing firm on this, and he got angry and went to our room. He's been in there for a couple of hours now, and I'm starting to feel bad for putting him on the spot like that and making him choose how to celebrate. Girl, you are not the asshole.
I think she is.
Really?
Mm-hmm. What?
You were so...
This is their family tradition. She didn't even grow up with a mom, right? And she's enjoyed it up until she became a mom, and she can celebrate it a different day. You have a baby who doesn't even know what day it is. I think she's an asshole.
I don't think she's an asshole.
I think she is.
I think things... One thing that I don't like, and I've talked to my partner about this, just because you've always done things a certain way doesn't mean it needs to be done that way anymore. When you make a significant life change, like entering a serious relationship or a marriage or having children, things in your life are going to change, and you have to be okay with that. Because she offered plenty of compromises. She said, well, maybe we can do brunch, just us, and then go do that.
I think she could do that. I think she could say, well, this is what I want to do. I'll be at your mother's later. But to totally say I'm not going to go.
Well, that was her last resort, though. She came up with other solutions. She said, maybe we do brunch, or maybe we spend Saturday, celebrate your mother and on Saturday, and then we do something on Sunday.
She
offered plenty of other solutions.
She did, but also you can say, oh, the mother-in-law won't budge. Well, also you could look at it the other way. Why does the daughter-in-law think just because I have a baby now, I should change up what you've been doing?
Because this was her first Mother's Day.
Okay, let me talk. Okay, never mind, go ahead.
I think, first of all, there's also this, I remember there used to be this like debate on Facebook, like if, because I have 2 dogs, right? I call myself a dog mom. They'd be like, you're not an actual mom. Girl, it's a day on the Google Calendar. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And that's the other thing.
I'm not saying I'm Jesus Christ and it's Christmas, celebrate me. I'm saying I experience my own form of motherhood by feeling maternal to my dog. So if I want to do a little post about my babies and say, Happy Mother's Day to all the dog moms, it's not that serious. It's not that deep.
It's not. And in that same vein, it's not a religious holiday. It's not, it's, so why can't you do it another day?
We have some comments. Taryn said she loved the accent. Thanks, girl. Brittany said, I believe that they can alter their traditions now that she is a mom and now there's a granddaughter in the picture. Exactly. Alter. She's not asking you to do away with the plans that you already have. She even said, like, maybe we do brunch, the 3 of us as a family, and then go celebrate your mom. And he's like, nope, it needs to be the entire day. The entire day? Move on. Get over it. Deborah said, I do because his mom won't be here forever. Okay. There's plenty of other days in the year that you get. I disagree. Brittany said they can still celebrate the mom, but they can also do something else specifically for Mother's Day. Exactly. There are compromises, and it sounds like the mother-in-law is not willing to budge at all, which would irritate me. I got my own mom to deal with. Well, I guess she doesn't, but sorry, RIP. But like, I got my own mom to deal with, and I got to deal with your mom, and your mom's not even willing to. I am big on compromising. Like, we don't have to do things fully my way, but we're not going to do them fully your way either, girl. Looky here.
I just want to have a little vent about my first Mother's Day. On my first Mother's Day, where after you were born, I got no acknowledgement, no gift, no nothing. To which your father, I was like, really? And my father defended him and said, what? He's not your mother, or you're not his mother. That's what he said, because he didn't get me anything. And he goes, why should he get you something? You're not his mother. And I was like, I just gave birth to his child. He should have got me something.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I have.
You're his baby mama.
Exactly.
Shit.
Exactly.
Taryn said, being a first-time mom, that's a big day for her as well.
Yeah,
exactly.
It wasn't a big day for me. Maybe that's why I'm like bitter.
I just think the mother-in-law, and she has 3 boys, right? And you know how I'm going to say some, sometimes, not all, sometimes boy moms get a little too weird about their sons and they don't want to let their sons go. I'll read it. Hold on. Let me tell my story. They get a little too involved and they, want to they're like, well, that's the man in my life. You have a husband. And even if you don't, guess what? That's weird that you want your son to be the man in your life when he has a whole wife and child. That's odd to me.
Is it weird that I think my dog is the man in my life? Because I tell him that all the time. No? Okay.
Can you be serious for 2 seconds?
I know I am serious. I do tell him. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I think the mom's being weird.
She said she had 3 boys, 3 sons.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. You can't give a little bit when you whatever.
I think maybe,
especially because
maybe because she has 3 and it's been a long-standing thing, right? And it's probably I know this as I don't really know this because I only have you, but people who have multiple children and they get older and have their own families, it's much, much more difficult to get everybody together at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's the thing too. Maybe the other boys have kids too. You know what I mean? That's just a thing where they've all put it on their calendars. Maybe that's why she's not budging. And maybe that's why she doesn't want to budge. So that just becomes every year, it just becomes, hey, everyone knows to keep this day.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, just bringing it out there.
Yeah, whatever. I don't think she's the asshole. I don't necessarily think the mom is the asshole, but I do think she could budge. I do think she could be a little more
There's some gray area here.
I want to read some comments. She said, Terry said, men are too afraid of their moms. No. Or they are doing something different this year. Husbands need to man up. Husband needs to man up.
They're afraid to tell their moms now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I think she forgot to tell.
Yeah. Men are too afraid to tell their moms no, or they are doing something different this year. The husband needs to man up. Facts. Thank you, Terry. Love you. Peace and blessings. Brittany said that's true. My aunt is like that with my cousin, talking about the weird mother-son thing. Boy moms, sometimes, not all of you, but sometimes boy moms are the ones you got to watch out for. She said that's how my mother-in-law is. Taryn said that. Brittany said, my cousin is her only son, and she still infantilizes him to this day, and he's a whole 36 years old.
Every I don't know what's wrong with me. I've had 2 husbands, and I think both of their mothers did not particularly care for me. But then, every guy that I didn't marry, their moms loved me and are still friends with me on Facebook.
Yeah,
weird.
I am loved by many. Can't help it.
It can't with you.
Even if let's say I was in a relationship and the parent didn't necessarily like that we were in a relationship, they didn't not like me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was it was never me that was the problem. It was just maybe the person, I've dated a lot of bums in the day. So maybe they were like, you need to get your life together before you enter this relationship. You know what I'm saying?
That's an excellent point.
Mm-hmm. Or other reasons that I won't discuss. But it's never me. I'm never the problem. I'm perfect.
What episode? Is this episode 15? 16?
16.
Oh, I think. Oh, well, you know what? Next week is Trauma Queen.
We'll talk about trauma.
We'll get more into all this.
Ooh, we should get a guest. Someone who's really traumatized. Any of y'all really traumatized?
No, that's it. That's everyone I know. we won't have any problems. Trauma queen. We're gonna actually take it a little heavier next week.
Yeah.
Not too much. Not too much.
Because you know us, we got to be goofy, silly, fun.
I mean, you know.
Yes.
We're not your therapist. We're not licensed in the state of Texas.
I don't know about you. I'm licensed. What do they say? Licensed.
We're licensed. We're licensed on the internet to talk you through your issues.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're good at it.
Yes. So tune in next week. Thank you so much for watching Journeys and Ambitions. We're here every Friday at 11 a.m. Central Time.
Oh, by the way,
on LV with Val Radio. Download the LV with Val app. Happy Mother's Day. Yes.
Thank you for that. We have 98 subscribers on YouTube.
Tell your friends.
We need 2 more.
Come on.
I mean, we need lots more, but let's
come on.
Small goals. All right. I'll post a video of little Miss Solo over here this weekend.
Yes.
Y'all have a great week. We'll talk to you next Friday. Thanks for coming.
Love you. Peace and blessings.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Love you, Mama.
Love you too.